could just look right into the camera.
Oh, right now?
And just say your name and then spell the whole thing.
David Emil Aguilar. That's DAVIDEMILAGUILAR.
Alright. So now you can just look at me for the rest of the time. Alright, so what's your name?
My name is David Aguilar.
And what do you do?
I'm a chiropractor.
And where are you located?
I'm located at 5030 Broadway on Broadway and 213th Street in Inwood.
What did you do before you became a chiropractor?
I did a couple different things. I was, in high school I bagged groceries. In college I was a bartender. When I graduated college, I graduated with a media communications degree, and I worked I worked for VH1. I did graphic elements for them. I did their bug, a few other on-air elements like Chiron and a crawl at the bottom of the screen tells you like what show is coming up next. It's a really hectic atmosphere, and I also worked for their online department, which was a little bit less hectic. But at the end of the day, the job itself didn't really do anything for me. Like, either I made my boss happy or I didn't. And so I needed something that was going to be more rewarding. I needed something that would actually, at the end of the day, somebody else's life is better because of the work that I did.
And so my next question was going to be, what inspired you to become a chiropractor?
Well, actually, that wasn't it. That wasn't the whole thing. Actually, there were a lot of sort of things happening in my life at that time, and one of the big things is I happened to meet lots of new people. When I told them what I did, they would say they were actually always very surprised, and I had always gotten this reaction before, like, "Oh, cool! I know who does that now," but then it started to change, and these people that I was meeting were saying, "That's weird. I expected that you would be in some sort of helping profession. I assumed that you were a chaplain or a nurse or doctor or something like that." And at that same time, I also went to see a chiropractor at the recommendation of a massage therapist, which I didn't know anything about chiropractors really. And when I went in, I didn't know that I really had a whole lot of issues that I wasn't taking care of. I had headaches all the time. My back wasn't very functional. Like, one of the questions that the chiropractor asked was, "How long can you stand on your feet?" And I was like, I don't know. Well, then I paid attention, and the next day I actually went somewhere where I had to stand on my feet for a while. I couldn't stand still for like 2 minutes without moving and shifting and fixing, and I realized that, there is a lot going on here that I don't know about. And so the headaches that I thought were normal, the backaches that I thought were normal, all started to disappear after I went to see a chiropractor, and I thought, this is something that's really cool. I would really love to do this for other people. So when the opportunity came to go to school, I said, "Yeah, let's do this. Let me do something better. Let me do something that will reward me. Let me do something cool and fun and helpful for others."
So how did you get started? What road led you to being a chiropractor?
So it was a combination of people saying, I think that you are more suited to something.
Sorry, incorporate the question in the answer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say it again.
So how did you get started as a chiropractor?
So I got started as a chiropractor. Well, I went to chiropractic college. I went to chiropractic college because I needed that change in my life. I needed something that was more rewarding. I needed something more fulfilling. So after chiropractic college, I immediately went to work for somebody in a multidisciplinary practice. It was cool because I was always really busy, but I didn't have a good handle on everybody else's care, every patient's care. All I did was do just the absolute straight and narrow chiropractic part. I would adjust the patient, and then they would go on to do their physical therapy, their acupuncture, see their medical doctor, and it was a really, really great experience to see how all that works together. And then I slowly made my way into my own office.
What's the biggest obstacle you faced starting your own chiropractic practice?
The biggest obstacle I faced starting my own chiropractic practice, there were two. One was becoming an in-network provider for insurance companies. From the outside, it seems like a really huge task that can never be finished, that it's tremendous. But in effect, you're just submitting your information, and they're making sure that you are who you say you are. And also they're making sure that your malpractice is in order, that you don't have any issues with any issues against your license. Then the other part of the other obstacle that I faced in starting my own practice was the funding. Just trying to find a small business loan, leasing for equipment, and that was really, and for my space, that was the hardest thing to really get moving in order to just open the doors.
Okay, so what do you say to people who question the legitimacy of chiropractic medicine?
What do I say? So when people question legitimacy of chiropractic, I point out that there are places for all sorts of medicine. So that it's not just, you might see your medical provider for A, B, and C, and you might see somebody else for X, Y, Z. That chiropractic has a lot of research in both directions. And when it comes to evidence-based medicine, you have to really do your homework. You have to look at research, and it says that this is effective in this scenario, this is effective in this scenario, but that chiropractors really work hard in order to make sure that their patients get well. When people question the legitimacy of chiropractic, I always want to put as much information to them as possible so that they can make their own informed decision. And that in my experience, chiropractic works. I tell them about things that it's done for me, and that's the first thing that I talk about, because that's my own experience, and I think that's really important to see. Like, this is something that I believe in enough to have done it myself. I'm not just trying to sell you on a chiropractic office because I want to make some money, because I know that this works from my experience. Another thing that I want to tell people about when they question the legitimacy of chiropractic is, how many studies do you not know about that are related to other things that you've done in the past for your health? The ways in which exercise has changed over the years, the ways that medicine has changed, the efficacy of different drugs that you may or may not have known whether they are or not effective. So there's another way that I show people where you can change your ideas.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, that question makes me ramble on more than any other question you ask.
It did.